to the yet to be named Eagle Podcast. I am Coach Thrift. With me is Coach Black. Coach Black, how you doing today?
I'm doing great. How are you, Brian?
I am fantastic. Well, this is our first go at hopefully what will be a weekly podcast, maybe a bi-weekly podcast. Not sure what our cadence will be. But main purpose, I think, Coach, is to get information out to our wild Eagle fans.
They are wild.
They are wild. We want to give sports updates. We want to honor our athletes if they've been given any recognitions, awards, our teams, maybe interview a few current athletes, former athletes. We could go really anywhere we want to go with this. First thing, I think, we need to talk about TAPS alignment for the 26 through 28 alignment year. And what I want to do, Coach, is I just kind of want to go through each season and just kind of give a brief overview, if you will, of each district for each sport. And let's start with fall sports.
Okay. I think you missed something, though, Brian.
Oh, no.
This is an audio-only podcast right now, so I think we need to kind of inform the viewers. You know, they're using their imagination to imagine what it might be like to sit in front of us. And, you know, I think they need to know that there's two very handsome gentlemen that are doing this podcast. So
undeniable.
I wanted to get that out there before we started. So anyways, I'm sorry for interrupting you, Brian. We can get back to TAPS.
No objection to that. No objection to that whatsoever. I truly have a face made for radio. But TAPS alignment came out earlier this fall, and we weren't. Wouldn't say we were too surprised by some of the things that occurred. So if we look at our fall sports, cross country didn't make any moves. It was a 4A. They'll still stay 4A, be in the South region. Volleyball moving up. The district is relatively the same. A few subtractions, a couple additions. Some old foes have kind of re-entered the mix. But if you're looking at volleyball, we're 4A, District 4. Obviously, it's us. It'll be Live Oak Classical from Waco, Round Rock Christian out of Round Rock. Texas School for the Deaf out of Austin, Vanguard College Prep out of Waco, and Veritas Academy out of Austin. So not much change there other than maybe the addition of Live Oak and losing Concordia. I think they're dropping down a division or two. Cheer will remain the same at 4A. Big move, again, not surprised, was football moving up to Division 3. We'll be in District 3, and we'll talk more about that here once we get through this preview because I want to get your thoughts on what the season looks like for next year. But in our new district for football in Division 3 will be Bay Area Christian. We're pretty familiar with them over the last couple of years. Geneva School of Boerne, Holy Cross out of San Antonio, New Braunfels Christian, and St. Francis Episcopal out of Houston. That kind of covers the fall sports. So moving into winter sports, we'll start off with soccer. Soccer will remain in Division 3, District 5. It's a little bit different, a little bit bigger district than most of our districts that we have. We're looking at us, Allen Academy, Cathedral High School out of Houston, Covenant Christian out of Conroe, Northland Christian out of Houston, Providence Classical out of Spring, St. Francis Episcopal out of Houston, and St. Joe's here in town in Bryan. Big district for soccer this year as they look to improve on what they did this year. Boys and girls basketball will be in the same district, still remaining in 4A, District 4. Again, we're losing Concordia, but gaining Live Oak Classical. So along with us and Live Oak Classical is Round Rock Christian, Texas School for the Deaf, Vanguard College Prep, and Veritas Academy out of Austin again. Kind of our winter sports offerings there. Not much change there. Some movement in districts, nothing major. Moving on to spring sports, we'll start with baseball. They'll be Division 3, District 4. They were Division 3 this last 2-year alignment, so they'll kind of stay in the same division. small district that we're involved with us, Live Oak Classical, Round Rock Christian, Vanguard, and Veritas. And moving on to softball, still remaining Division 3, but we'll be in District 4. Another small district will be us, Round Rock Christian, Texas School for the Deaf, and Vanguard College Prep. Tennis will remain 4A, track and field will remain 4A, golf will remain 4A, and in all those sports, we will be kind of in that south region, heading towards Houston and Corpus and San Antonio and all those things. So not many surprises there, but I think the big thing is football moving up a division, and so we're looking forward to that. And before, I want you to kind of give us a season preview here of our district coming up this fall. But before we do that, I think it's important for us, in that context of lining up our districts, just to kind of highlight some of the things that our teams have done this year. In particular, obviously, everybody's well aware of our football team repeating as district championships and appearing in the state championship game for the second year in a row. It came up a little bit short, but nonetheless, lots of excitement heading into next year. Volleyball returned to the Final Four, but then won district for the first time since, I think, 2014, I believe. And then girls basketball finishing second in district and getting their Final Four trip for their third time in 4 years. So very, very exciting, very good season. At the time of probably this podcast is released, we're finishing up baseball season, who's currently in first place in the district. Softball is finishing up their season. Tennis is preparing to go to the state championship next week. Golf is preparing for their district tournament. So lots going on. Lots to be excited about. So what I want to do now is just sort of, let's talk football, okay? Year one under your belt, okay? First season here. Give us kind of your thoughts of the season. How did you feel about things?
I think number one goal is to change the culture, and not to say that the culture was bad, but it can always be improved. So every year we want to raise the standard of what the expectations are within the program, and just want a team that has leaders on it that hold each other accountable. So football is the ultimate team sport, in my opinion, and we need players that are willing to step up, lead, hold people accountable, and have a contagious effect on the rest of the team. How did this past season go? I think it went great. I think we made a lot of progress. Obviously, developing a quarterback that has had very limited time under center. Hudson did a phenomenal job. Great arm, great leader. Everything you want a quarterback to do, he did. Led the team well. We did make it to that state championship game after an undefeated season. Fell short. However, we still managed to score 45 points on First Baptist. Unfortunately, they scored 62. So I think we made up some ground, but at the end of the day, like I said, they just had a couple more dudes than we did. But we are trending in the right direction. I think this is going to be the most talented team that Brazos Christian has ever had. Very, very excited. We only lose 5 seniors, I believe. Okay. Junior class is loaded, so I've got high hopes. Now, moving up, I think this regular season is going to be a lot more competitive, but I think that's a good thing. We're going to play Austin Regents, the Regent School of Austin.
Correction.
Week 2. And one could argue that they are the second best team in all of TAPS. I think they lost a close game against All Saints, which won the Division II state championship. And All Saints is also a team that beat the Division I state champion in Parish Episcopal. So they've got a Division I quarterback, a very disciplined team, very talented team. So that's going to be, I think that's going to be a great game, and it's going to be a indicator of where we are as a program.
So, you kind of alluded to next season going in. With us moving up to Division III, what do you think will be for our team, maybe even for the coaching staff? What will be kind of the biggest adjustments you think that'll have to be made and or maybe recognized by the players?
Well, it goes back to that culture component. Every time you go up a level, if you were to go around and survey just the team atmosphere of the successful programs, you've got teams that are bought in from top to bottom. Whether you're a freshman, whether you're a senior, there's an expectation that if I'm going to be a member of this football team, here's what is expected of me. I'm going to be in the weight room every time I have a chance. I'm going to compete every time I have a chance to compete. I'm going to do things the right way. And I think that's what you see if you look at Lubbock Christian, if you look at my alma mater, Dallas Christian, just a program that has set very high expectations, and the kids have come along and they've been successful year in, year out for years.
Yeah, I think you've done a tremendous job of kind of establishing that culture with our guys. You can see it's evident in those early mornings in the spring when you got guys filling the weight room that aren't just there because they don't have anything else to do. Most of them are playing another sport, either track or baseball, or they're doing some additional training.
Well, I love that too. I love multi-sport athletes, and whenever those guys are playing basketball, they still come in and lift. When they play baseball, they still come in and lift. Lifting is not just something that's exclusive to football. I think it's beneficial in every single sport. That's why, whether it's golf, whether it's tennis, pick a sport. When you move up to the higher level, like college or professionally, lifting is going to be an integral part of your preparation.
Agreed. I want to ask you this question. Going back to this year, obviously you came in May. You took over a team that had made it to the state championship game. You came in late May, didn't really have a chance to have much of a spring workout with the guys. Summer comes, people are traveling all over left and right. You kind of try to get a feel for those guys. You jump into 7-on-7 football, heading into the fall. What surprised you most maybe about this team, whether it's guys, particular player, particular game? Was there a moment where you thought, well, we're really starting to figure it out?
I mean, there was that moment. I'm hesitant to tell you when that was, because it was probably midway into the season where we really started clicking, I thought. But you saw bits and pieces of it happen over the summer. And I don't want to call anybody out specifically, but there's certain guys that I'm really proud of how far they came. But they'd show up to strength and conditioning, and we're out there doing conditioning work, and we've got guys just wheezing and coming up with all the excuses, right? And then just over time, like, I'm not going to take it. I'm not going to accept that. And then by the time the season rolls around, these guys that are wheezing and making up excuses and having injuries, that's gone completely. So moments like that are what was really encouraging to me. And that ties into the whole concept of biblical manhood. Like, I don't want kids that make excuses. I want kids that are willing to run through a brick wall, kids that are courageous, which courage is not the absence of fear. It's taking on whatever challenge in spite of the fear that you have. So those are the type of characteristics that I look for. Those are the characteristics I want to develop. And when I see that taking root, it always gives me confidence.
That's awesome. Well, I know there's a lot to be excited for this year, and not just with football, but with all of our sports. We've got a lot of returning coaches that have done a tremendous job. I think about our volleyball coach coming back, Tatum Smitovic. I'm excited for what she's going to do this coming fall in her new district, and trying to raise her standard for her team as they defend their district title. And then I think of basketball, boys basketball on that side of the thing with Coach Cooper, with him establishing a new culture, being a young coach, trying to establish his program and his expectations is always fun to watch. I'm excited for that. And so we got a number of things, girls basketball, all of our team sports are doing well. And then we talk about our individual sports, with tennis, with Coach Van Norman and what she's done, winning a state championship with the girls team last year, and then getting ready to take a team back this next week to try to see what we can get done there at the state championship. So lots and lots of things going on. And again, going back to the purpose of this podcast, we want to be able to highlight our athletes, our coaches, our teams, kind of put a face to some of our programs, and I'm excited for that. But I think our most pressing issue is what are we going to call this podcast? Is it even really truly a podcast? Like things have been bouncing around. Like, I think this is maybe a little more centric towards me and you. Like, two bald eagles. You bald by choice, me letting nature take its course. Kind of letting it happen.
But handsome
nonetheless.
Yeah.
Nonetheless. How about bearded eagles?
I think that could work.
Mine, I like to consider it, if you could see it on camera, salt and pepper-ish. Maybe more salt than pepper.
Well, I think the demand for this show is only going to grow. So, as the audience wants more and more, it's an inevitability that this is eventually going to be broadcast on video.
I'm excited for that.
I don't see how we're going to avoid that.
No. So, again, the name, Eagle's Nest, seems a little too easy, right? Maybe we have a contest.
I think you may be onto something.
Give it to the students and see what they come up with. So, students, if you're listening, just pay attention to the morning announcements for once, and pay attention to some details on contest name or the name of the contest naming rights, if you will. And we'll see what we come up with this. So, well, I guess, Coach, what other thoughts do you have?
Well, I just, we talked quite a bit about football and the talented upcoming senior class, but it's not just limited to football. So I think what you can expect as a fan of Brazos Christian, as a parent of Brazos Christian, as a student at Brazos Christian, I think that our volleyball team could arguably be the best volleyball team we've ever had.
Yes.
Same thing with football. I think boys and girls basketball has something special going. So I think the future is bright, and I'm personally excited about watching our kids compete.
That I would agree wholeheartedly with that. I think that's one of the biggest joys I've had throughout my career, is just watching kids compete, looking for those light bulb moments that they get to have during the year of maybe a major growth area, or figuring it out, like you alluded to with the football team, but to see that light switch and whether it's a guy or a girl, just realizing how much more capable they are than what they previously thought. And so I think that's the value in athletics, is to really kind of draw that out of kids. And so like you, I'm excited for this upcoming year, and as we prepare for the summer and do all those things, I'm excited for what the fall holds. So with that, I guess we thank everybody for joining us.
Thank you to all our fans out there.
All of our fans. We hope to see you at our fields and venues and gyms, and cheering loud for our Eagles. And how we sign off, I guess, is God bless, go Eagles.
It works for me.